UFC Vegas 106, Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales just ended, and this is going to be my full card post-fight of this illustrious Apex card. I mean, from top to bottom, what an event. It was a marquee event. In all seriousness, I know people are going to hype it up. There was lots of finishes. It was about what you expect from an Apex card. It was really a one-fight card. Gilbert Burns, Michael Morales, and Michael Morales absolutely smoked Gilbert Burns in the main event. But let's start with the very first fight of the night. And by the way, I didn't do my predictions this week. I did them on stream. But we'll go through my Tapology predictions at the end of this video if you're curious of my predictions, if you didn't tune into any of the streams. But if you guys enjoy these post-fights, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. I would greatly appreciate it. First fight of the night, we have Pennington versus Luana Pinheiro. Pretty much what I expected. First round, you had Pennington really just outlanding her, landing some good kicks. She landed a head kick early on, was outstriking her. I think Pinheiro shot one takedown in the first round, but was stuffed. But late in the round, she cracked her with a shot, dropped Pennington. And I thought maybe Pinheiro could have stole that round, but I would have still gave it to Pennington. Then the second round, Pennington was landing the better shots, primarily kicks, primarily leg kicks, really. Wasn't super exciting by any means. And also, I believe, had a takedown or two towards the end of the second round. So I had Pennington winning the second round. Then the third round was kind of a slop fest, with really Luana Pinheiro getting the better of the grappling, getting her down, controlling her, not doing a whole lot of damage, but not much else was happening. So I had it 29-28 for Pennington, giving her rounds 1 and 2. But maybe in an alternate universe, you could maybe give 1 and 3 to Luana Pinheiro. Pinheiro just looked too sloppy on the feet. I think that's what lost her the fight. Where Pennington was more technical and throwing a lot of basically volume shots, Pinheiro was swinging wild and hoping to crack her with a big shot and put her down. And ultimately, she was really never able to. So, not really a whole lot to say about this Apex card opener. That's about where it belonged. Pennington gets the unanimous decision victory. Next fight on the card, we have Hyun Park versus Carlos Hernandez. Park literally walked Hernandez down, was battering him, was cutting off angles well, was ripping to the body, was landing good kicks as well. And then I think it was Carlos Hernandez who was getting overwhelmed by the pressure, who clinched up. Park immediately took him down. And then basically after that, took his back and immediately submitted him. I mean, it was a walk in the park. No. All right, let me stop. Apex card, guys. Hyun Park looked good. He's still undefeated. It was an easy win against Carlos Hernandez. Like, don't get me wrong, Carlos Hernandez is low level, but he's not like the worst fighter ever. And Hyun Park literally just walked through him. Walked him down, outstruck him, took him down, and submitted him. I thought it was a flawless performance. And I know, again, Carlos Hernandez is not a great fighter. Oh, what does this really mean? But this is exactly the type of performances a guy like Park is supposed to put on against a guy like Hernandez. I say it all the time. You can say, oh, like Hamzat in his first couple UFC fights. He beat scrubby guys, but look what he did to him. That's what you have to look at. He's not like Bo Nickel fought Cody Bumditch. He's getting dumped on his little ginger head. So Park did what he needed to do. Great win from Park. He gets it done over Carlos Hernandez. Next fight on the card, we have Elise Reed versus Denise Gomes. Reed got battered. She gets finished via KO in the second round. Horribly late stoppage by Jason Herzog. I wish at this point in the card, I'm like pissed I didn't do a prediction video, because up until this point, I got all the fights correct, and I picked Gomes. I think I got all the methods correct, and I picked Gomes via second round KO here. First round, Gomes was getting pressured a bit by Reed. She tagged her with a massive right hand, then swarmed her a little bit up against the fence, took her down, controlled her in a bit of a boring, like 3 minutes of the first round. And Reed was swollen badly. Her eye was swollen badly after that first right hand. Second round, basically the exact same thing happened. Drops her with a right hand, lands like a short uppercut. Reed kind of scrambles up, gets caught with the left hand against the fence where she literally gets slumped out cold, but she kind of wakes back up. And then Gomes is just pounding on her, and Jason Herzog just staring at them. I mean, Elise Reed got her ass whooped. This was a horribly late stoppage. It wasn't like the worst I've ever seen, but she was put out cold. woke back up and probably ate 15 to 20 shots. And it was brutal, like Denise Gomes just hauling off and just cracking her over and over and over again. And Herzog's just watching as Gomes destroys Reed up against the fence. But Gomes did what she needed to do. Good win. She went out there and KO'd her. I literally picked KO in this fight because I was thinking, it seems like there's been a lot of women's MMA KOs recently. So Denise Gomes has good power. Elise Reed isn't a complete scrub, so Gomes gets it done. I guess it means something. Not really, but it was a good win, and it was an impressive way to finish the fight, and she dominated it from start to finish. Next fight up the card, we have Luana Santos versus Tainara Lisboa. Basically, both rounds were the same. I mean, it was literally almost the exact same thing in both rounds. Santos would get pressured a little bit. She shot a takedown, got control in the first round. They were in the north-south for a little bit. I'm sure the Simps were loving that. Lisboa tried to slip out and take her back. She had like both hooks in while she was getting her head and chest controlled. Lost the first round. Second round, same thing happened. But this time Santos controlled her for a bit from side control, eventually took her back as Lisboa was trying to scramble up, and then eventually had full mount, did a little bit of damage. And then at the last 10 seconds of the second round, latches up an Americana, which apparently was the first in women's MMA history, which makes sense. Bisping's commentary is comically bad. Like, this isn't a horrible moment to really just shit on him. It really isn't, because you could think this considering it never happens. But Bisping's like, yeah, man, she's not going to get that. And then immediately afterwards, Lisboa taps. It's just comical at this point how bad Bisping is on commentary. But yeah, Santos gets a submission win over Tainara Lisboa. I mean, what's there to really say about this? I don't want to shit on the whole card. She got a good finish here. It was interesting to see. The sad thing is she's moving up to 135. She could be a legit contender at 135. That's how bad 135 is. And Kayla Harrison isn't going to be around forever. She might win the belt and dip out. Maybe after the Nunes fight. That's what I meant to say. Win the belt, fight Nunes, dip out. Maybe a rematch against Nunes at 45 if she wins. Say, I don't want to cut weight anymore. Let's not cut weight anymore. Let's fight at 145. Then they'll make it another imaginary 145 title to bring it back for Nunes Harrison's rematch. Something along those lines. But yeah, Santos is a legit bantamweight, as crazy as that is to say, because her striking looks atrocious. Her grappling's decent, and she gets an Americana in the second round. Next fight on the card. I'm going to brutalize this guy's name. Yadier DelValle versus Connor Mathews, I think is how you pronounce it. I don't remember. I mean, Connor Mathews got starched badly. I mean, it was a filthy destruction KO or rear naked choke win by DelValle. It was an easy win. I mean, he was outstriking him on the feet. I'm trying to think how he took him down. I'm trying to remember how he took him down. I think he caught a kick and then took him down with ease, started smashing him against the fence, had him in like a seated position against the fence and was smashing him with elbows and punches, and then basically like dives out to give up his back because he was getting smashed against the fence. And DelValle literally just latched up the back, latched up the rear naked choke, and submits him. Connor Mathews had nothing to offer. I mean, he was completely outclassed in this fight and literally had nothing to offer. So DelValle's an interesting prospect to watch at featherweight. His striking looked really good. He showed some really heavy leg kicks. I think he landed like one or two really heavy leg kicks. His striking and his movement looked really good. Again, it's against Connor Mathews on the Apex, but he looks like a very interesting featherweight prospect. I'm not going to anoint him a top 15 yet, but smashed him on the feet, took him down, good ground and pound, snatches up the back, landed a couple back shots dead. I think one or two back shots dead, and end up getting the submission over Connor Mathews. Not really much to say about that one either, but good performance from DelValle. Next fight up the card, we have Jarrett Gordon versus Thiago Moisés. Jarrett Gordon gets a takedown in the first 10 seconds. Doesn't really do a whole lot with it, but controls him for about half the round. Thiago Moisés throws a couple elbows from the bottom, which cuts Jarrett Gordon's head, like his forehead. He starts bleeding pretty badly from the forehead. But eventually Moisés gets to the fence, gets up, and they're back to striking. Moisés looks really slow. I mean, looks slow on the feet. Gordon looked a little bit crisper on the feet. As you could see, he was tagging him a little bit more. Then Gordon lands a picture-perfect right hand, drops him badly. It's done right then and there. Follows up, lands a picture-perfect punch right on the chin, sleeps Moisés, maybe like one or two other follow-up shots before the referee finally jumps in. Man, I think a lot of people probably picked Thiago Moisés. I picked Thiago Moisés in this fight. Jared Gordon's older, but man, he's still good. He out-grappled Moisés. He slumped Moisés. Moisés really didn't look great in this fight at all. He looked like he was sick or something. He looked slow. He looked sluggish. And Jared Gordon brutally put him to sleep. So maybe that Paddy Pimblett win/loss, but he really won. He got robbed. Maybe that isn't as much of a blemish on Paddy Pimblett's resume as we may think. Jared Gordon's kind of underrated. He's 36. He's old. He's never going to be at the top of the division. I know it would never happen. I would love to see that ran back because Gordon's super well-rounded. He doesn't look like he would be that good, but he actually is very well-rounded. Paddy probably beats him in a rematch, I would predict, but that'd be an interesting rematch to see ran back at some point in time, but I don't know if Gordon will ever be ranked again. At this point, I'll take Gordon over Michael Chandler. Mr. See you at the top. Mr. I left my family in January for a mythical fight at a mythical weight class. I'll take Jared Gordon over Michael Chandler all day, and Michael Chandler's ranked in the top 15. So Jared Gordon could be looking at a top 15 guy in his next fight. I'd love to see him slump out Chandler. I'd pick Gordon over Chandler right now. I picked Paddy over Chandler. I was confident that he would finish him, and I got laughed at. So Jared Gordon gets it done over Thiago Moisés. Brutal KO win, and apparently didn't get a bonus, which is crazy because it was a filthy KO. Jared Gordon gets it done. Next fight up the card, the featured prelim, Gabe Green versus Matheus Camilo. How good is Ian Machado Gary? I've repeated, how good is Ian Machado Gary? Gabe Green wins via second round rear naked choke. And Camilo quit, man. Let's be honest. I know tapping technically is quitting. He tapped immediately. I mean, the choke wasn't even fully latched up and he quit. Camilo was winning the fight up until he gave up his back in the second round. First round, he's landing good, fast shots, landing some good leg kicks. Towards the end of the round, kind of gets grazed with a right hook and drops into a takedown. Got the takedown, got a minute of control. I still thought Camilo won the first round. Second round, Gabe Green has a sense of urgency, starts pressing it. Camilo takes him down because of it. Controls him a bit, ends up getting in the full mount and decides to look for the triangle from mount, like Khabib did against Justin Gaethje, where he had Justin Gaethje slobbering all over his knob. And Gabe Green picks him up and slams him. You see a crazy grimace from Camilo. Camilo's still desperately trying to hold onto the triangle. It looks tight as can be. And somehow Gabe Green eventually works his way out of it, like maybe 30 seconds, a minute later. And it seemed like at that point, from the slam plus the effort for the triangle, it seemed like Camilo was just ready to quit. He gives up his back basically immediately and immediately gets tapped out. That's essentially what happened. As soon as the triangle was out, he basically quit. He was done. He used up all his energy. I think the slam also kind of rocked him a bit. His head smashed against the mat. It was a heavy, heavy slam. It was a risky move from Gabe Green. Could have got, deeper into the sub, but I think he was already thinking the sub is kind of tight. Let me slam him and see if I can get out. And I really do think it worked out for him. Obviously it did, but I do think it was a slam that really helped him escape that from that submission, even though it wasn't an immediate escape. And I mean, Camilo the choke wasn't even underneath the chin. The choke wasn't immediately, Green wasn't even fully gripped and Camilo was tapping out. It was an immediate tap out. Gabe Green gets it done. Gabe Green is actually underrated. And how good is Ian Machado Gary? I got to say that for the Ian Machado Gary haters. But good win from Gabe Green. Matheus, I almost want to say Matheus. I'm thinking of, who am I thinking of? Mike Mathetha. When I look at his name, I think of Mike Mathetha. Yeah, Gabe Green gets it done. Good fight. Camilo looked like he could have just out-grappled him to an easy victory. It looked like he could have out-grappled him to an easy victory, but he just wasn't able to. Gabe Green gets it done. Second round, rear naked choke. Easy work for Gabe Green. First fight on the main card. We have Julian Erosa versus Melquizael Costa. This was a good fight. This was kind of like your apex barn burner of kind of lower level, maybe just barely mid-tier fighters. First and second round, Costa was outstriking him. Landing good leg kicks, nasty combinations. First round, landed a couple head kicks that rocked Erosa in the first round. Erosa got a takedown late in the first round, but didn't do any damage with it. Got caught with a spinning back kick that grazed the groin, I believe it was. And Erosa just waved the referee off because he was just trying to pressure Costa. He was clearly trying to wear him out. Second round was much closer. So first round I had for Costa. Second round was much closer. Erosa shot a takedown mid-second round as he's losing the striking exchanges. He's just getting countered, straight right hands, good combinations, mainly straight punches from Costa coming back. And Erosa shot a takedown, Costa started looking for a guillotine. I think he kind of tried to cinch it up twice, but wasn't able to get it. Eventually worked his way back to his feet and was landing the better shots as Erosa was just walking forward. Erosa landed a couple good elbows as he was kind of plotting forward. And then late, Costa took Erosa down, but immediately let him back up, which was a common theme. I thought second round was very, very close, but I thought Costa landed the better shots. I thought overall the damaging shots came from Melquizael Costa. And then the third round, it seemed like Costa was gassed. Erosa was walking him down, landing good shots. Costa would get a takedown, and then instead of cementing the position on top like he clearly could have, he would just let him right back up. I didn't get it at all. And it looked like at moments Costa might fade. Costa might curl up into a ball like Bo Nickel and quit on the mat. But he didn't. He was throwing back. At one point I thought he might have, I didn't go back and watch the replay. I thought he might have hurt Erosa to the body. He landed like a nasty knee in tight. And I thought he might have hurt Erosa to the body. It might have been a punch. I don't really 100% remember. But Erosa definitely won the third round. Costa had him down maybe twice that he could have cemented a top position and just let him right back up. But maybe it was the fact that his toe was like detached from his body. One of his toes was like torn where it attaches to the foot on the bottom. It was on Dana White's Instagram story if you haven't seen it. So maybe he was worried about putting the pressure on that on the ground because it was bleeding throughout the fight. They were talking about it, I believe, after the first round. So maybe that's why he didn't want to go to the ground and have all that pressure on his toes because his toe probably hurt badly. But he gets it done. Seemed like low fight IQ, but with the toe injury, maybe we give him a little bit of a pass. I had Melquizael winning 29-28. I believe that's what all the judges had. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of the judges gave Costa round 3, like 1 and 3, and gave Erosa round 2. So that's a delusional scorecard. Round 3 was clearly Erosa, but Costa gets it done. Clearly the more technical striker. Needs to work on his gas tank, but shout out to Erosa, man. Was just walking him down, trying to wear him out. Had it been 5 rounds, Erosa would have finished him in the 4th round, I believe. Wasn't a 5-round fight, so we'll never know. Costa gets it done over Erosa via unanimous decision. Next fight on the card, we have Dustin Stoltzfus versus Nursultan Ruziboev. I'm really, really upset we didn't get to see a celebration with Ruziboev and his coach. I'm really, really upset about that. First round, Ruziboev got dropped. At first, I thought it was a punch, but it ended up being a head clash. And right after that, there was a guillotine attempt. Stoltzfus had a tight guillotine attempt from mount. It looked like Ruziboev was about to tap the way he moved his hand. The referee almost jumped in, but then he didn't because he realized it wasn't a tap. But eventually, Nursultan was able to scramble out, ended up back on top, eventually get back up, and started tagging him with punches, landing a couple spinning heel kicks that partially landed, partially got through the guard. There was a couple long, like, step-in right crosses that landed for Ruziboev. And especially considering it was a head clash, I scored it for Nursultan, but I was like a little bit worried the judges might give it to Stoltzfus for dropping him, but also looking for the submission attempt. But even if that was a drop, Nursultan recovered immediately, was able to scramble out. I still thought he won the first round. Second round, Ruziboev caught him with a nasty uppercut, put him down, jumped back up. I think Stoltzfus jumped back up and then started looking for a takedown, got a takedown, didn't do much damage with it at all. And I'm trying to remember how the second round went. I think there was another moment where Stoltzfus looked for a guillotine. I'm trying to remember. He was looking for a guillotine. Oh, yeah, he was on top. I think he ended up on top, got a takedown, ended up on bottom looking for a guillotine is what I think it was. And then started looking for a knee bar on Stoltzfus, or Stoltzfus started looking for a knee bar on Ruziboev. And Nursultan, oh yeah, that's right. Nursultan was grabbing the cage a little bit. It wasn't the most egregious, but he still was very much grabbing the cage. And maybe Stoltzfus would have been able to get an angle, get a little bit of leverage. But eventually, Nursultan got out of it, landed a couple of ground and pound shots. I had it for Nursultan as well. Third round, Stoltzfus got a takedown, didn't do any damage. Got the full mount, and literally Ruziboev immediately scrambled out. And yeah, I mean, third round was kind of back and forth a little bit. I thought Nursultan landed the harder shots, and I gave all 3 rounds to Nursultan Ruziboev. Stoltzfus was tough. He had some moments. Ruziboev wasn't super impressive, to be honest. He calls out Bo Nickel afterwards. He's like, you know what, Stoltzfus? There was no quitting Stoltzfus. I want a dude who's going to curl up into a ball and quit like a little bitch. Give me that little ginger boy Bo Nickel. Which I actually missed live. I wasn't even paying attention. I had my earphones on, wasn't paying attention. But yeah, Nursultan Ruziboev gets it done over Dustin Stoltzfus. What's to say? He just was a longer, rangier guy, did more damage. Busted up his nose, by the way. I don't know if I said it. With the uppercut he landed in the second round, busted up his nose. Stoltzfus was bloodied and battered. Third round was actually moderately close, but I still gave it to Norsalt and Ruziboev. Good win for Ruziboev, I guess. How good is a Boost Magomedov? I know we say that. I say that satirically in case you don't watch all the time. You know, whenever there's a fight, everyone in the MMA community is like, how good is this guy based off a win? So just so you know. Anyway, next fight on the card, co-main event, because the actual co-main event got canceled. We lost Paul Craig versus Adolfo Bellato. Oh my God. What are we ever going to do? It was such a fight. I was really looking forward to the dead body of Paul Craig. Give me a break. People, I mean, the commentary team was acting like people were upset that fight was gone. That fight didn't give a rat's ass about that fight. Anyway, man, I picked Santos. I picked Santos in this one. I'm going to go through my full card picks in a minute. Santos just looked next level compared to Yusuff. Was tagging him. First round was kind of uneventful. Santos landed a couple really stiff jabs, was out striking, was checking some of the leg kicks. Yusuff shot a takedown towards the end of the round, and Santos landed a nasty Travis Brown elbow. So I scored it for Santos just based off he landed the harder shots, even though it wasn't a lot. Early in the second round, Santos landed a good head kick and then just started touching him up with good shots, was cutting him off, landed a couple good head kicks, had him bloodied up, battered. There was a couple leg kicks that took Yusuff off the feet as well. So he was getting caught with head kicks, caught with leg kicks. Eventually shot a takedown, was being defended well. And once he defended the takedown, pressed Yusuff up against the fence and was landing against the fence as well. Second round was clearly for Santos as well. Third round, Yusuff came out more aggressive. And it seemed like Santos was trying to maybe coast on a lead a bit. And then Yusuff got a takedown out in the center. Santos got back up, reversed position in the clinch, did some work there, was kind of slapping him on the back, slapping him to the face. Then they kind of broke and he was landing teeps. And I thought Santos won all 3 rounds. Third round was probably the closest round, but it was definitely because Santos was coasting because he knew he had the fight in the back. So Santos gets it done. Diego Lopez's best win, because Brian Ortega's a scrub, by the way, in case you didn't know. Basically, Diego Lopez's best win, Sodiq Yusuff, is getting outclassed by Marion Santos. But striking looked really good. I don't think Yusuff is the most elite guy ever. And this was also at lightweight, so there's kind of that asterisk to it. But I thought Santos looked really clean, really good striking. He's an interesting prospect in the lightweight division or the featherweight division. I don't know where he's going to fight from here on out. I'm not really sure. But he gets it done over Sodiq Yusuff. Next fight on the card, the main event. The main event, we have Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales. What a fight. What a fight. It lasted 1 round. It lasted 1 round. Michael Morales, essentially, if you missed this fight, it was Michael Morales just tagging Burns, and Burns is like slipping and sliding, Scooby-Doo style, all over the cage. Early, he got tagged with a nasty straight right, and then Morales started swarming him up against the fence, and then realized, let me pump the brakes a little bit. Still early. This was like a minute and a half in-ish. Backed up, kind of reset himself. Burns kind of rushed forward, was kind of throwing some shots. Landed, I think, like 1 right hand, but was mainly just landing at air. And then Morales tags him with a nasty uppercut. Starts swarming him with good punches again. Burns shoots a takedown, gets the takedown, but Morales defends, gets right back up there in the clinch. He fights the hand. He breaks the grip. Then tags Gilbert Burns again. I think this time it was with a straight right hand. Then starts throwing like combinations, swarming him again. Burns curls up into a ball, falls down, and the referee's about to step in. Morales is punching him up against the fence. It's looking like Burns is going to quit like Bo Nickel, but even worse, or even maybe not as bad. But then Burns kind of like shoots a half-hearted takedown. The referee doesn't stop it. Burns gets back up and then just gets swarmed again and dropped badly, tagged with a straight right hand, sat down almost just like Bo. And then the referee finally jumps in and shows Gilbert Burns mercy. Morales looked really clean, but I don't want to take away from Morales because I do think this was a good win. Burns is 38 years old. Burns has taken a lot of damage over the course of his career, whether it's against, Hamzat Chimaev or Bilal Muhammad or Sean Brady. I do think Burns is a bit of a dead body now. I think dead body's a little bit strong, but I do think even if Burns has fallen off as much as I think he has, this was still a very good performance from Michael Morales. I think Michael Morales can beat a lot of guys in the top 5 of the welterweight division. I mean, think about some of these matchups you could have right now. You could have Michael Morales, JDM, Michael Morales, Islam Makhachev, which is absolutely insane. Michael Morales, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Michael Morales, Sean Brady, Michael Morales, Joaquin Buckley. What I would really love to see is Michael Morales, Colby Covington, but Colby Covington is never going to take that fight. Michael Morales, Ian Machado Gary in like a year or two for the title. I mean, wouldn't that be an absolute banger of a matchup? I know everyone's going to say, give Morales Gary, because Gary is a top guy who takes on all the toughest up-and-comers, so it kind of makes sense, Gary Morales. But I don't want to kill off Morales' hype just yet. But his power looks really good. His grappling, his defensive grappling looked really good. His kicks look good. His distance management as well as his decision-making, like the way he finished Burns, he was tagging him throughout the fight. He didn't get over-aggressive. He knew it was a 5-round fight. He picked his shots, and when he did realize, okay, this is the finishing moment, Gilbert Burns is curling up, Bo Nickal style, but maybe willing to take a little bit more damage. Let me swarm him and get him out of there in the first round. Great win from Michael Morales. I hate to take away from him, though, but it just seems like Burns' time has come and gone. I know I already said that, but again, even if this is a diminished Gilbert Burns, look what Morales did to him. He didn't go to a 5-round decision with him. That's what Sean Brady did in a mildly competitive fight against Sean Brady. Michael Morales went out there and just whooped his ass, had him slipping and sliding all over the octagon and was just tagging him. The striking looked incredible. I can't wait. And just the welterweight division overall is sick right now. I mean, think about all those guys I just named. I mean, think about Morales versus Edwards. I think Morales washes Leon Edwards. You had a fluke KO win over Kamaru Usman, people thinking Leon Edwards was a potential welterweight GOAT. Had Ariel Helwani having Leon call out Conor McGregor for the welterweight title. What an absolute fucking joke that is. But yeah, Morales looked incredible. Think he has a great future. Striking looked on point. And we did see him face a little bit of adversity. You know, we've seen Burns take him down. We know Burns has excellent grappling, excellent jiu-jitsu. Wasn't able to keep him down at all. Morales popped right back up, broke the grip, break the grip, walk away, okay? If you know, you know. And just immediately as he broke that grip, just started walking Burns down, tagging him again. That straight right hand is nasty from Michael Morales, and he gets it done via first-round KO. I did not anticipate that. I expected Morales to win. I didn't expect a first-round KO. Matter of fact, before we end this video, let's check out my full card predictions in case you guys are wondering. So if you don't know Tapology, you can make picks. As soon as the event starts, you cannot change your picks. So in case you don't know, most people who watch the channel do know. I didn't get to my prediction video this week. There was a lot going on. It was a shit Apex card. I was kind of bummed out. I went over them very briefly on, I think, Friday's live stream. But here is my full card predictions. I had Morales via decision. I thought he was going to be too good. I thought Burns was on the decline. He's too old. He's, 38 years old. Morales is 25. How could you not pick him? But I know Burns is pretty durable, so I figured, okay, maybe he just goes to a decision with him. Had Santos. Picked Santos to actually KO Yusuff, which is crazy. End up going to decision. Basically, the only two picks I got wrong was Moisés against Jarrett Gordon and Camilo versus, who did Camilo fight? I forgot that quick. How am I forgetting? Oh, Gabe Green. Gabe Green. So, overall, decent night of picks. In case you're wondering, I know people do have commented. What about your predictions, Joey? Went 9 out of 11. You can see right here. Just confirm on Tapology. There you go. In case you were wondering. But that's it for UFC Vegas 106. It was an Apex card. Well, I know there was a lot of finishes, guys. I'll end on this a little bit of a rant. Maybe I'll do a video on this shortly. Maybe if you guys want it, let me know. Like, these Apex cards are dog shit. I don't care if there's finishes. For me, I like to see high-level fighters fighting each other. This was a one-card event. It was Burns versus Morales. One-card event. One-fight event. Like, we really got Barber versus Blanchfield. I may skip predictions on that as well. Let me know, guys, if you're really desperately dying for those predictions. Then you got 316 coming up. Bummy as hell. Marab versus O'Malley 2, and the card is just lackluster underneath that. I think I need to do a rant soon about how the UFC is on the downslope and Dana is checked out and doesn't give a rat's ass. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. What did you guys think of this card? Did you enjoy the card overall? Appreciate every single one of your guys' support. Like the video. Make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you in the next video.